でもその父が好きか。
All right, Floyd. Well, people have been talking about the incident happening between you and your son in HBO 24/7 series. Can you tell us, in your view, what happened in that whole situation?
Oh, well, nothing with this father-son thing, just disrespectful and, he's ungrateful. All I do is leave it to the high power. That's all I do. I can't judge my son in no kind of way or anything like that. But like I said, one thing I can do is go about my business and whatever happened with him, let him do what he got to do for himself. I don't really want to bother with him as being a son like that.
Yep. Now, the 24/7 cameras really didn't capture how it really all started. I mean, was it really just over a debate over two female fighters, or was it something more?
Well, it was about, first of all, the one guy, Tim Coleman. Tim Coleman, first of all, used to train at the gym. My brother used to train Tim Coleman. And my fighter knocked Tim Coleman out, Vernon Parrish. Vernon Parrish knocked out Tim Coleman. And the whole thing is he said, I'm judging him. I'm not judging him. I'm judging him for what? If you're talking about money, I'm not judging because of money. That's your money. You made that money. I taught you how to make that money. You wouldn't have it down if it wasn't for your daddy. It is what it is. Only thing I can tell you is I honor my mother and father.
Now, when this was all going down, how close do you think you two maybe were coming to going to blows over this argument? Very
close. Close as he wanted to get. One damn thing for sure. His daddy wasn't finna back down, and his daddy wasn't finna take no ass whooping. So, if his daddy ain't gonna take no ass whooping, that must tell you who's gonna take the ass whooping. It wasn't gonna be me.
So, do you think that's maybe him getting a little bit of an ego with himself?
Oh, he got ego. He got ego way beyond. We got an ego way beyond the mean of anything they call an ego. He way above that. So he let a situation get out of hand that should have never got out of hand. About some girls boxing. And please, the girl would even, and the girl, his fighter, she's not a bad girl either. I mean, but we were talking about them fighting each other. This girl fight my girl. All of a sudden, what are you doing in this gym for? What do you mean? What the hell am I doing in this gym? What do you mean? My thing was merely just coming there to support him. That's all. You know what? He brought trouble to his daddy. You know what? He's going to have to deal with that, not me.
Well, Floyd, your son's been going through a lot of legal turmoil in the last 16 months. And do you think that this situation that happened with you was kind of a culmination of everything that's been happening to him all the time?
Well, you know what? All this shows you is that all this shows you about him, he's just a bad-ass individual. That's what that shows you about him.
Well, do you think your relationship with your son can ever be repaired from this incident that happened?
Oh, God. Well, we try to repair that relationship. We were separated for 9 years before we even spoke to each other about anything. It's no problem with me doing the same thing I did before. 10 years or more, or 10 years or better. It don't make no difference with me because anytime somebody try to disrespect me like that in front of that amount of people, in front of anybody, period. It could have been one person there. One person there still would have been disrespect. You don't do that to your parents. The best thing for me to do with that is leave it alone.
A lot of fans have been speculating over one particular comment you made when you said you're 41-1. Some fans think you mean that you think your son lost the previous fight, and others are debating whether that meant you were going to give him his first loss right there.
There, you got it. You got it. I say you 41-0. This is going to be your first damn loss. I guarantee you if you run up on me. And what I said is what I meant. The punks you fighting in the gym, you sparring with, there's no sparring match. I say you're 41-0, and this one right here, you will not win. Trust me.
If the cameras weren't there, and if it wasn't the HBO 24/7 crew and everything about, do you think maybe it wouldn't have escalated so much?
Personally, myself, I don't believe that HBO had anything to do with it, even though the people said that HBO had a lot to do with it, but I didn't look at it that way. HBO was there, then there was a heated argument. It escalated to a heated argument. something else that I didn't even realize what he was talking about. But what made me mad is I'm his father. And even though we can argue about the girls and this and that, but when you start telling me to get out your gym, that's when I had a problem. Then you gonna start using incriminating words like motherfucker, get out my gym, and all the other words he used. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I was very mad myself. I used the word MF, but that ain't my style. He brought it out of me, and I meant what I said. When I start talking like that, it's going to be a problem.
Earlier on the HBO 24/7, there was footage of your son where he said, yeah, my father taught me how to box, and then my Uncle Roger continued it from there. And I'm just curious.
You know what, to tell you the truth, his Uncle Roger ain't gotten shit. His daddy got everything. Uncle Roger ain't gotten shit. He learned everything from his daddy. And like I said before, I trained him when he was a little kid, when he won the first national tournament. He was 16-year-old. He beat two 24-year-olds. He beat a 22-year-old and a 21-year-old. And he beat this guy that was former champion named Morales, if you remember him, some years ago. And Floyd beat him for the final in the Golden Gloves. So he dominated the tournament. That's his daddy did that. And then I ended up going to prison 3.5 years. Then I did the same thing that I ever did. I told him to my brother. He went down there, and I advised him to go down there. He went down there. He came back, and he hasn't did nothing different as far as the fighting that I did with him. He hadn't did nothing different in the game of boxing. He fights the exact same. The defense that he used is the defense that I taught him. The shoulder roll. Roger didn't teach him. Roger didn't never fight like that. He never fought that way. He's the same right now. He ain't got no better since his daddy trained him. His daddy came out of prison and had maybe 6 or 7 fights with him, and he won the world title with his daddy. He ain't never lost the title because Roger ain't nothing but a maintenance. A maintenance is somebody that comes behind you and clean up after you.
From what you've seen at the gym when you were there, how was Floyd looking, and was he on track in your opinion?
Well, even though me and him, I'm not going to say it's because of me and him was in an argument, and I told people in there already how I felt about it. I said the sparring partner he got is nothing. I don't know how good Victor Ortiz is, but I'm just saying that I think that little Floyd needed some better fighters than he had. He had some punching bags in there. He had people he can just do what he wanted to do with him.
In 2008, you were actually scheduled to train Oscar De La Hoya for the rematch against your son. If that happened, how do you think it would have played out if you did train De La Hoya for that fight?
To be honest, I already know how to beat my son. I already know how to beat him. And De La Hoya would have beat him. But I chose not to do it, though. And I chose not to do it. I chose not to do it the first time because of the money that they offered me. And I wouldn't go in for that, to fight my son for $500,000. That wasn't gonna get it. They came to fight my son the second time. I chose to go with De La Hoya. It was no love lost anyway with my son. It was no love lost then. It's no love lost now. So like I'm just telling you, I was going to do my job. I was going to go whoop little Floyd's ass. That's what I was going to have De La Hoya do. And I knew just how to do it. And it would have been easy to do.
Floyd, what is it that you think you know that other trainers don't about how to beat your son?
I know, but my thing is, he's still my son. He's still my son. I still won't even speak about that. Motherfucker, get out my gym. Get out my gym. Motherfucker.